Yo, what's up? It's Raphael from Sea Manga, here to give you another review of The Breaker New Waves, Chapter 85. Today's chapter is quite long, it's about 24 pages, and quite a bit actually happened, so I'll try and keep the summary as brief as possible. Basically, it just starts off with Shi-Woon in a meeting with the Sun-Woo clan elders, who are discussing his decision to return to school, and they're obviously not very happy about his decision. Shi-Woon basically tells them that the key center treatment he's having won't affect his normal routine, so he decided it's best for him to return to school. Elder disagrees with this, saying it's not wise, considering the clan is currently at war, and being the Gaiju, he'll obviously be targeted. Shi-Woon's asked, what should I do now in this situation? And he says if there's anything he needs to do for the clan, he'll make it his first priority. But he thinks the Sunwoo elders are very capable as it is, and he doesn't think there's much more he can do, considering his lack of the experience they have, and the fact that he can't even use martial arts right now. So he's decided it's best to use his free time wisely rather than just sit around. They still think it's not a good idea. Elder John being the most opposed against the idea, even stating, do you really want to go and risk this, going out there with the current situation? And Shi-Woon basically asks Elder John, is there something you fear in the other clans, which he disagrees with? And then Shi-Woon says, well, that's good, then we're all agreed, and says he will leave it to him, which confuses John. Another elder asks, why does he really want to return to school? He believes, does he have an ulterior motive? If he really does, they can help him. Shi-Woon honestly states that he's already received so much from the clan as it is, and he obviously wants to pay them back by protecting the Gaiju head position he currently has for So-Chun, who is the the original head who entrusted this position to him. He said that his position has always been temporary, and he's only looking after it until the old master returns, and he shouldn't forget this, and he also wants to protect his former self, so I'm guessing he doesn't want to lose sight of his old personality. Elder Con ultimately just agrees to this and says if he wishes it, fine. But he says once you leave the jurisdiction of the Sun-Woo clan, any independent action you make like this will not be allowed, and she will understand and thanks him for the ridiculous wish. Just as he's leaving, Eldercom makes sure that High Ill looks after him, and he thanks him for the previous conversation they had, because he was honest with everything he told him. Elder John remarks, Shi-Woon seems a lot different from he was before, that he's much more mature and confident, and all the other elders state it's not just him that thinks this, everyone does think this, considering everything that's happened, as well as his mother being hospitalized, and himself nearly dying. Is expected for him to change. If not, they're actually seeing Shi-Woon in his true nature. Elder Con goes off with one of the other elders, and they have some tea. They're discussing about Shi-Woon being a one-of-a-kind Gaiju compared to all the others. Kwon asks the other elder, don't you believe Shi-Woon's intentions are pure? Which the other elder replies that he's too much of an old demon, as obviously he's seen a lot of people have been distrusting in the past, so he can't believe him so easily. Kwon asks, isn't he the same though, seeing as actions he's done in the past, doesn't that kind of make him a demon too? And the other elder disagrees, saying no, I think you're a prime example of a pure existence. They start to talk about Gyu-Bum with the recent mistakes he's made in the past events that happened, and he said this only started to occur recently when someone approached him about Lady So-Chun. He said he didn't really say much about it, but he was very troubled, so from then it's clearly distracted him, and being a very I think they said that he was a class A kind of student. It's kind of weird that he's made so many mistakes. Obviously, this has kind of thrown him off. He said this also kind of worried him about Shi-Woo's behavior today, seeing as even though he's changed, like character development, he's improved. It seems that he only wants to act as a stand-in Gaiju for Lady So-Chun, and he's always ready to step down. Till recently, the Sun-Woo was under the Alliance influence, and they didn't have really much of say in what they which actions they wanted to take. But after the incident with the Nine-Arch Dragon, which was in the first part of the breaker, Lady So-Chun was freed, and seeing as she was freed, the Sun-Woo clan was also freed from the alliance and became an independent clan, so they could rebuild themselves up. And saying right now, whatever happens to the future of the Sun-Woo clan is all decided on what happens with Lady So-Chun, and she's currently being held by the Black Forest clan. So obviously, whatever actions she takes and whatever actions Shi-Woon takes is gonna decide what happens with the Sun-Woo clan. It jumps to now Lady So-Chun speaking with a man. I'm assuming that's her carer or escort, stating that if Shi-Woon steps back because of her situation, the clan will once again be a target of manipulation like the Alliance did before. She's introduced into a group of men who aren't convinced she's the person that everyone in the Mirim has spoke of, but her escort states that she is the perfect being and she's exactly what all the people in the Mirim have dreamed for. Another man steps in now called Black. He talks about the crazy ideals that the escort has, and does he really think that people who use swords are better than people who use guns? The escort says it sounds confrontational, is he mistaken? And Black says, no, you heard right. As soon as he says that, squad of soldiers or mercenaries break into the room, and Black calls them the Shadow Warriors, which he's been worried about, believing that they were slowly encroaching on the a group of people called the Phantom Knights turf, but apparently their boss has invited them and the rest of the people currently there to his home, even removing bodyguards. Black believes that this was the Phantom Knights master's way of asking Black himself to kill So-Chun's escort. He then goads him and he draws out his gun basically and goads him to see if his oriental obsession with martial arts will even deflect a bullet, and then this chapter ends there. So yeah, I really did like this chapter. It was kind of a kind of East meets West kind of feel, like where they kind of just sort of Eastern Western conflict. Yeah, I'm guessing this is, as I said, what I've been waiting for, is they're starting to move the story now, and obviously it's like there's new people being brought into the story. These guys, the Phantom Knights and the Shadow Warriors, and I'm assuming they're just Western soldiers or something that use weapons and artillery rather than actual martial arts like the Mirim do. So yeah, I'm also liking Shi-Woon's character development. He's starting to become much more mature and confident in himself, as seen in this chapter, as well as the actions he's taking without sort of hesitating or quivering like he used to do. I'm assuming that he is going to be the head guy in the future. I can't see him stepping down, even though that's what he wants, but the way the story's playing out seems to point out that yeah, he's definitely going to be the future Gaiju or something along those lines, seeing as his position is kind of important to the Sun-Woo clan. So it's like if they don't have a head anymore to lead them, they're vulnerable to being used by the Alliance again. I also like that they've brought back an old character from the original Breaker series, Lady So-Chun, which was basically, as they said, the original clan head of the Sun-Woo clan. But I also remember as the girl that Shi-Woon and Nine Arch Dragon saved, like, she was in the boot of the car, that she was like a package, but obviously being Shi-Woon decided to save her rather than deliver her wherever she was supposed to go. I can't actually remember. I think it was to the Alliance. So yeah, that's kind of giving me hope that they're going to bring back some more old characters from the original Breaker as well. And yeah, it's so much kind of happened in this chapter. It's starting to move along now, and I'm pleased with that. So yeah, I think I'll give it a 9 this week. Like I said, it's not always about action. Said story, I think definitely made it more interesting than the last, I'll say, 4 chapters. And yeah, I'm looking forward to some more. Hopefully the Nine Arts will return soon. I keep saying that, but you know, gotta keep hoping. And so yeah, as before, if you like the video, leave us a like, rate the video, drop a comment to voice your opinions, and subscribe for some more content in the channel. And I'll see you guys next week.